What's up, you guys? It's Agile here, back in Enshrouded, and today we are just going to be doing a fun little project here of building a little town square or market square, kind of with market stalls, similar to this here. I have modified this to an extent. There is another YouTube video that I did watch to get some ideas for how to build some market stalls here, but a lot of this is going to be our own brand of it, and I will leave that video linked down below too if you want to see some of the stuff that he has built. And yeah, we're gonna get going here on building this. So obviously I was gonna build a house here, and then we were gonna fix up Fort Kelvin initially on our server, but we're kind of got some grand plans here, and this is going to be kind of a little village here next to Fort Kelvin that we will also fix up, and I plan on doing some showcase videos and all that for that as well. But let's go ahead and get into it here. I don't want to waste too much time, but we'll come in here. So some just different blocks that I'll be using here today. I don't know if we're going to be decorating in this one today here. We might do a separate video on that there. Just let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a decoration video on that, because this might take some time here to do this. But we'll go ahead and get started here. So I have my main pathway that comes basically from the main road over there, as you can see off in the distance there. And that comes right across here through our inn here, basically right around our inn. Fisherman's Inn right here, that we did a separate build video on that. Check that out if you want to see that as well. I can leave that one linked down below as well for you guys. And then we've got our pathway that comes over here. And the blocks that I'm basically going to be using for the main pathways in our city here. We're using fancy stone blocks here, which is what these stairs are. Right there, which give a nice little wooden feel. And then I'm also using, if I could scroll to the right one here, weathered stone block. That's what these all are. I like the look of them here, nice square stones with different sizes. And then they have a nice kind of border here on the outside here that kind of looks like, you know, typically when they used to build roads, like when the Romans used to build roads, they would put a border to kind of hold everything in place. Kind of like they do in landscaping nowadays, on a lot of different landscaping projects. But it's kind of chipped away and cracked, you know, showing its age. So with that here, let's get started with building here. So we're going to grab our weathered stone block. And if you're wondering how big to make this, it's really up to you. Feel free to change out the blocks if you want on your build. But I went one. Let's see here. I came over. So we'll go all the way over to there. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then if you went 2 more here, 6 and 7 is what I would come out at here for mine. And then for the width here, we just had a simple, let's make a nice square here. We had 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5 here, and then I'm just going to connect these here and make a nice big square-ish structure here. And I'm just using the ceiling blocks here. You could do the whole thing in foundation here, and you're probably like, well, Agile, right now it's floating. We're gonna have to get rid of that vegetation there too. But we are gonna come along here eventually, and we'll eventually use our walls here and place our walls in sort of just like that, and make it a nice raised platform. And what I'm building, particularly in this village here, we're going to be building with the terrain, which is why we have the terrain, or the height changes, the elevation changes here with our stairs and stuff. So we have a lot of little rolling bumps here, and I'm trying to use that to the best effect I can to make it not so flat. But if that's a little bit annoying to you, or you want to make it on a flat surface, that's fine too. So anyways, so let's continue on here. So we want a pretty nice big size square here, and I'm just gonna go out over here. So that's gonna be basically your main one coming in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and to make it a nice square, since it is a market square, we're just gonna be bringing it right over this way. I'll probably end up having to get rid of that rock eventually too. I think for this hill here, we are going to probably shave this hill down here. So in order to do that, we're going to have to switch to our terrain here. and go ahead and get rid of that. I want to build with the terrain, but to an extent, you know, to an extent. And then we'll go this way, so we'll just go ahead and take that out so I can kind of see what I'm doing here a little bit better. Okay, so we should be pretty well squared up there now. Okay, let's see where that gets us now. Go with the, I want the bigger block here, terrain. And yeah, if you have a town you're already going to add this stuff into, you're just here for some ideas, you're not building it exactly like me, feel free to change some things on your build as well. What were we collecting there? What does it say collect? Oh, fireflies. Okay. Okay, now I should be able to see pretty good. Back to here. And I just want to make this even here. Even Steven, essentially. Like that. And we'll come back down here. And there might be a quicker way to do this, but we're not in any kind of huge hurry here, so. Okay, good. We can always come back in if you make a mistake on the landscaping portion of it. And, look at that big old rock. Can we get rid of that? There we go. There's that dismantle button. Perfect. All right, now I'm just gonna come back in here and fill this in. Oop. Want to put a little pool in here or a fountain? Feel free to do that too. I think we should be able to get underneath there. Ooh, is there a rock under there? Another rock that's going to be annoying. Alright. Okay. I might have to remove this. Oh, wait, there's a collector. There we go. Okay. And then we have a nice little square here. And I like this stone a lot for that as well. So, one thing that I do want in the middle here as well is I'm thinking there's going to be kind of a grand central area here with multiple stalls in it. But then along sort of the back here, we're going to have multiple stalls just like this one that we can fill in here. So in order to build this here, let's delete these berries. Get rid of some stuff out of our inventory that we do not need. All right. So what we're going to be doing then is basically building a long part in the middle here and then separate market stalls. So to build one like this here, what you'll go ahead and do, switch to your 1 meter section here. And then we're going to mark out some spaces here. So depending on where you want them, you could just run a wall all the way along here if you want it to look like that. It's kind of up to you. And I am kind of thinking here as we go. Like in most of our videos, we do typically just kind of build on the fly together here. So you can kind of see my thought process here. And you don't have to put the straw on the roof either here like we did over here. Another just a thought experiment, but anyways, you can build a wall going around here, which we might end up doing as well, and making just a solid wall back here, which would be kind of fun to do. But anyways, for now, let's mark this out here. So basically, we'll put one there, then we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Break another block out right there, and then essentially all I'm gonna do is just switch to our 4 meter walls here. You might have to turn snapping off for this to make it sit in the right spot. Line it up with your hole that you made there in the floor. Or you could go off of this one as well here. And then bring your second wall out here. And the reason that we need a wall is because when we switch to our actual roof block here, like for instance when we use our wooden grate, you're going to need, essentially you're going to need to flip this around here. And you'll need to use your other wall here to either place one like that or let's see here if I can get this thing to cooperate with me. May need to even go out even further for this one here because, oh, wrong button. Because when we use this gate, or this wood wall, and we, that's not the way I wanted to rotate it. And we rotate it. Okay, come on, game. Cooperate with me here. There we go. And we rotate it like this. It should snap off of your back wall to come through like that. So this one, being a major turd here that it is, we want to rotate you like this. And then we want to rotate you down. Rotate it like that, and then rotate it. Okay. Okay, you can do this. I have confidence. There we go. Sometimes the Enshrouded system is a little jank, but it is very in-depth, which is nice. And so you can kind of decide how much you want it to tilt and whatnot. So like, for instance, here if we wanted a smaller market stall, and we placed it in like that, and we went ahead and removed this wall. Now we've got ourselves a different looking roof here than what's on the other wall over there. Then basically you'll take flag poles here, if that's the block that you would like to use. Raise it up there, I don't know why it's in the ground. Or you could even grab different flag poles here. The flag poles do seem to work the best unless you're building much taller structures. So we do have these double ones here too, like this, or you could even use a flagpole like this if you wanted to. So the double ones will look like this. It will come up through here, a little taller though, and then you could do flagpoles like this as well here to kind of give yourself a little bit more, kind of right there. And then bring one over here, place it right there, like that. Oh, and don't forget too to come back then and fill in your small little holes here, because someone's going to step in it and break an ankle. So yeah, so then you have little flags there like that. And then for the countertop there, all we're really using here is a wooden tavern counter that looks really the best. You could use other tables as well there if you wanted to. You could even flip tables if you wanted to make it look a little differently. Or something like cabinets here. Where's our regular size cabinets? I got a bunch of different decorations in here that we can use for building this stuff. You can use something like carved wooden shelves here. Grab out, let's see here. We want just regular carved shelves here. So just some different ideas for you here. You can basically flip these then like this and bring it up. Like that. Let's see here. There we go. Now it's straight. And you can put that in there like that. Oop, was that not low enough? That's not low enough. My bad. Or you get the idea with that one. Or you can essentially you can let's turn off that again here and then flip it like that if you want to. You could leave it like this and also sink into the ground if you wanted just like some little shelves out here to display some items. Or you could flip it around and have a nice little backdrop there, which I think we might actually do here. Like that. We might move that just a touch here though. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay. We want to just ever so slightly. There we go. And right over here. Okay, something like that. You got a nice little counter there for your person to stand behind here. And then you got little shelves back here to actually store items too. And then on this one here, you can decorate them however you please on the inside. But Why we zoomed all the way back there. It's really up to you how you want to decorate them on the inside. Like I said, we might... Why do I keep doing that? We might do a separate video on decorating our entire market here. There we go. Nice little shelf in there. And then we have another market complete right there. We just have to add the decorations, which involves more tables, more stools, more things sitting around, more clutter, basically, the clutter. I think the sun is going down too here, which gives a nice little, I guess, effect. Nice little effect on this. So then if we come back in here, maybe we'll make a bigger one now. And back here, I do have plans for this rock too, but one thing that I also want to do is build a nice long one here in the center. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take out our, let's see here. I want to run back over here and grab out, where are we here? They might be in the other one. Where's my support beams? Oh, I do have them already equipped. Okay, good. You have these support struts here. Now, if you look at the support struts, just place one down here, for instance, so you can see. They're quite tall. But support struts are one of the only things in the game that you can use that have a nice round log like this. But there is actually another way you can make wood-ish looking structures here. That is if you go to... let's switch back here to the 1 meter cube of terrain. And you have... you can use different blocks, such as the dirt road block here, and you can build it up. Now, like I said, it is a lot harder to do. You have to get it perfectly in the middle, but you can build with the blocks like that. So basically, if you were to, let's switch to, what is this dirt road? Where's my other stuff? Do I have some other stuff in here? I might have left that up in my storage room up top. Yes, I did. But basically, if you use the fertilized farm soil or something like that, it'll be darker color and almost give the illusion of wood to kind of give you a tree trunk-like effect. But for today's video, we're just going to be using the regular old support strut here, and that'll work out just fine for us. So let's get back out of that. Let's switch back to support struts here, and then we're going to pick this one back up, and we basically want to put down how big we want our actual building to be here. So let's go ahead and sink this into the ground just a little ways here, like that, and then we'll leave it at that height. And I want it to be straight with that one. So pretty long, pretty wide. Just like that would be just fine. And then let's try to keep it straight here. So if we run back along this path right here, this line, we can make a nice long one here too. This line right here. And this should be right there. They might have moved one here. Hold on. Okay, so we are good that way. And this line right here. Right there should be pretty close. And it is getting dark out here, so I'm going to go run over here to my temporary bed and sleep quick. And as always, I don't like to do a lot of cuts in my videos, just so you guys can kind of see my whole thought process here. All right, nice water break there, and we'll run back over here. And I see I have a little bit of terrain here yet. There we go. All right. So here we have ourselves a nice big canopy here, essentially, is what it is. And then we can switch to the roofing. Now, if you want to make big roofs here, that's fine too. Keep in mind, you might have to go up a touch there. to make it look quite right. So something like maybe like this. Let's bring it down just a touch here. I think I will use straw here. I'll use snapping. Let's just see how that looks here. Let's get up here. Okay, nothing sticking through up there. So that's good. And I wonder if we could actually get the corners are always tricky. It won't snap that far. So what we could actually do too, we could actually maybe put the corner directly on here. It's going to be a little janky. Of course it is. Let's turn off the snapping because, yeah, if we put the corner like that, yeah, it should actually work. Let's get rid of this one then and go back to this, turn snapping back on. We should be able to make that work for a nice roof structure there being held up by those beams. And if we did the height right, it should come out to be just about perfect here. Yep, there we go. And that, oh, but that one is sticking up a little bit here, but we can adjust that manually too. So if you get the height that you like I like this height for the roof here. To fix one like this, all we have to do is kind of look at how much we need to go down, and we just pick this one back up, and then we'll just realign it here. So we're on this line here and about right there, and then we just want to bring it down a ways here and see where we're at. It is a little tedious. Got to go down just a hair more. Pick that one back up again. It would be nice if you could actually look up as well. That's just about right there. It's maybe a little low on this side, but we can maybe fix that up some here if we need to. In fact, I might. I've got a couple ideas for that too. But anyways, let's keep going with our roof here. So nice straw roof here. Gonna flip this. It's going to not want to cooperate with me. There we go. Alright. There we are. I'm not sure if it'll come out exactly even here. That one's a little high too. Maybe that one was actually just low. Could be our main problem here. We'll flip this. Do a nice corner again here. And we should be good. Just like that. Okay, and we will come back and fix some of these sticking out here, like that. But for now, that's looking pretty good. And it's up to you if you want to close that up on the top or not. I am going to, actually. We gotta get up there. Scaffolding is always nice, but I refuse to use it. So now you could go with basically just your simple blocks like this to cap it off if you want. Or if you want to do something fancier like this here, that would be fine too. That's in fact what I'm going to do here. Just a nice big thatch roof here. Just to kind of make it look a little more medieval. This is more of like a village after all, not so much a city, and not a fortress either. So just more of a village. So maybe, you know, common folk, not such wealthy people. So now it's completely closed in here like that. And now we can come along and we can basically decorate it up a little more how we want it. So if we take these flat roofs here and let's go back to the 2-meter ones here. We can actually turn off snapping here to get this right. If we're going off of that one for height wise, we actually want to maybe go something just like this. That is not the right block. Where are we at here? There we go. 2-meter roofs. That's what we're looking for here. So you can go ahead and place that in like that. That should not affect the outside. Good. Then we can turn snapping back on here. And we can basically just extend that out. If you want to make it a different kind of wood, that's fine too. But let's go like this here. And all that's really doing is just going to be hiding any imperfections that we have with it there. So I want it to snap. I want you to snap directly to that. Like that. Is that right? That's one higher. Okay. Let's go into first person here. And the joys of roofing. There we are. Just like that. Alright. That's looking good. I could actually go over one more here. To achieve that, we should... Let's turn off snapping again. There we go. So we want it to be actually at that level, so... we can remove that one. And then we should be able to turn on snapping again here. And just bring this all the way over here like so. I'm building at a really weird angle here, but it seems to be working, so let's not jinx it. Just a nice roof. Like that. And then let's make sure that we're over far enough here. Hard to tell from this angle. Yeah, I do believe we are. Oop, that one was way off. And it looked like... Okay, that one might be weird. Okay, that's still fine yet. There we go. And we should be good then to go all the way over. We've got some really weird lighting effects going right now that are messing with this quite a bit here, so. And bring this over to meet up, just like that. All right, we got like some weird, I don't know, kind of overcast bright light going, but so it's kind of hard to see in here. But then eventually we can hang things from the ceiling as well here. You could do some nice beam work, would look really good in here. So for instance, if we wanted to add in beams, just like we had in our tavern, let me run over there and show you that here quick. So basically beams, like what we have in here, some nice beams would look very, very good. Out here, and something like that as well. Alright, so that's looking good. And then what we actually want to do then is probably fix our poles here. So that one's good. So we've got these two left over here that we need to fix up. This one's got to go down a little ways as well here. Let's pick that one up. I do believe it was like right here. That's going to be about as far down as it lets me put it right here. That's alright. That's just about right there. Actually could have maybe went up one more, but it's pretty close. That's what we're aiming for. Pretty close. Make sure I'm on the right line here, going this way. And that is all the way down right here because of the terrain underneath. So in order to fix that, so that it is actually the correct height, like now it's working, but if you needed to go lower than what it actually is right now, you would have to go out and basically dig deeper so you could put that lower then, so it would snap lower, but it's actually looking all right. So and now we want to build just a nice little area around here. Let's bring this back up here. So a couple different ways you can do it here. You can use the tavern counters like we were, and just place them in like that. We can also use carved wooden cabinets here again, and then we can rotate them to basically go like this, and maybe one more there, and you can use those as well to make some different designs, so we could make it a little more precise here. Bring that up a little bit. So maybe like first let's put this down so we get the correct height. Wow, I just flipped funky there. All right, so something like this. And we'll just place a few of these in here. In this section. All right, and then we can come over here. we'll flip this so it's nice and straight. And then, oh, I didn't see that we were flipped the wrong way. Whoa. Something just like that. I have a way for people to walk in there. And then, of course, don't forget, too, that you can use the correct height here. That you can use things like boxes and crates and stuff to make clutter, too. In fact, we might even just bring this over here. It should be flipped then. So like this. Oop. That's not right. We want it to flip the other way, so like this. There we go. Flip it around like that. My dog is mad at something upstairs. We'll just sink that into the wood there a bit, and then what we can do is just flip this back this way, because we don't want the legs sticking out, basically. And we'll just go ahead and, if it's going to cooperate here, line it up just right. And voila. We've got a nice little countertop there as well. And then we can do something like, if you want, you can do some various different kinds of poles here. Do I have any in my inventory? I do. So let's see here with the crude fences. I want to see how tall these are here. Again, we can adjust the height if we need to, but if I put them somewhere right in here, like this, that looks pretty good, actually. I don't mind that at all. And yeah. Or you could also, an idea you could have as well here, if you wanted to bring an overhang out, you could put one out here, and you could bring a little, like, you know, smaller overhang coming off of it as well here. In fact, it gives me some ideas here. We might leave that for right now. I might come back to that. But we can also grab, let's move some of this stuff up here so I can see what I'm doing a little more here. We can also grab things like our wood banisters here. You can put some of these around if you want. They're a little big for my own personal taste usually. But if you wanted to put some around, you most certainly could. Something like this. Something just like that. That would separate off some more of your market there. I think I would actually probably opt for some crates and stuff here in between there. And a lot of it, I just want it to look more organic than you know, like so rough. Such a rough structure, so basically bring that in right there. That one's maybe a little high compared to this one. Yeah, that one's maybe a little high here. Let's pick this back up here. Come on, I saw the prompt. I saw it. Where's the prompt? There it is. All right. So we can go ahead and, not spin. We want to lower this down just a bit. Which we can, okay. Put the first person here. Maybe a wider perspective would be good. That's about as low as we can go. Something like that. Is that too low then? No, that actually looks okay. I might bring that up just a tad, just to connect to the top layer there. But yeah, and then we can basically come through here. We can add some more. Why do those keep sinking into the ground? We can basically actually come up. We can basically turn these. We can add some more shelves in here. Turn off snapping again. Like that. All right. And then I am curious about these as well here. We can flip these around. Why are you being so weird? I want to see here. There we go. All right. Let's flip this way. And then let's flip this. Where do we want to go here? We want it flat? Maybe not flat. Let's flip it this way once. So that we're nice and straight. More this way. And we can bring it over here. Let's see what this looks like. Am I crooked here a little bit? Oh, should be good. Down. And just connect it like that. Yeah, that could work for something. Just a couple little areas to get in here. Like that. And then maybe we'll bring this down a ways here, something a little lower. And then we'll turn on our fine tune here. And we'll just push this in a little bit here. We're hiding that there. Like, what's the edge look like? Let's flip this around here, maybe. Something like that. We've got just a little deal there to kind of break up some more of that. So we're just trying to cordon off a little area here for this. These plants are bothering me here. But yeah, then we can make some market stalls going around the outside here, and we have this big one on the inside here. And I think I may actually... I do have wood equipped in my inventory, so... to make the beams, let me just show you how those work exactly. You can use various size beams. We're going to have to get up a little higher here until we're up on that actual platform. So let's just build ourselves a little platform here. And then I'll go back in here, come down to our conifer wood here. And I kind of like to be just a little higher here than what I am. Okay, not that high though. Turn off snapping. Something like this. I'm just gonna make myself a little platform here so I can see what I'm doing when I'm building. This will be removed. Alright, so then we're going to just kind of center ourselves up here. And we'll just bring a nice big beam across here, which should look alright. And I fell. Oh, my legs are too short to get up there. Alright, and then come this way a little bit. Is that right? There's a beam in my way. First person mode. Just like this. Nice big beam coming through here. Like so. Now we have a nice big beam coming in here. And then I want to kind of see where middle is here. So, oh, okay. Apparently the server is full or unavailable. I don't know if I've ever had that error before. Alright, welcome back. Quick server reset and we are back in the action. But I want to go back in here. Basically pull open our 1 meter blocks here. And I'm thinking center is like right in here. Gonna go ahead and mark that out once and see. And I'm just eyeballing this. If you want to be exact, measure it out block for block on each side of that where you think center would be. But basically now I'll just... Oh, can I get up there? Okay. Too good. I'm too powerful at jumping. Alright, we'll go back down to our conifer wood blocks here. And then I'll switch back to the 1 meters here. And then I just basically want to make sure I know where I'm building at here. So like this. Is that correct? It is. So we'll just connect these blocks like that. So just like that. And then we can come back down here and we can get rid of these. Like that. And now we have some nice cross beams in there, just making it break up some of that kind of more unnatural kind of look, I guess, in there. So we'll just go ahead and switch back to our walls here. Or our walls, our ceiling blocks. We'll remove these. And then eventually, when we decorate, we will probably hang a chandelier here from the middle. Maybe some other lights as well here for the nice civilians. Look at those floating benches. We can actually maybe use that to our advantage here. Let's try this for a second. Here's another little experiment. So let's go right underneath here. Okay, that doesn't look quite right. Try this side once. I'm just trying to experiment here a little bit. Never done this before, so we'll see how it looks. With a little more of a raised platform here. Okay. It's interesting. I'll say that. It could work. I wish that... I actually don't mind that too much, to be quite honest. You could actually put this all in kind of a wood panel here. If you wanted to. Actually doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna do that, I think. Because then we'll be able to wrap this nicely here. Oop, not like that. Okay, come on. There we go. Trying to be fussy with me. I know you can do it. There we go. Yeah, I actually don't mind that at all. Let's go ahead and put one right here too. And that's wrapped up nicely here. I like that. Yeah, that's very, very cool. All right. Nice little fancy countertop here for when you're walking up to see the first appearance of the market. All right, and then you can do things like you can add in flags if you want around as well, like up on the countertops here. You could put a flag in if you just wanted the nice flags to go around here. Like here's a taller one here. You could put this, say, like right there. And you can run it all the way along there, which would be quite nice. Or you could flip these bad boys upside down here. It's another thought experiment of mine. And we're going off of our flat blocks here. Let's go into first person mode. We could come along here and maybe we could get them to go up. Something like this. Oh, but then our flags are going to be, well, gravity's going to be the wrong way around there. Look at that. Oh, I thought I had a good idea for a minute. But if our flags would hang the other way, that would look okay. But they do not, so I'll turn that back off. But I'm actually going to remove that from mine, I think. If I can find the removal point here. Maybe stuck here forever. What have I done? I can remove my... Okay, hold on. Okay, that's the... I know it's right here. I can feel it. Okay, I'll mess with that off screen. But anyways, I'm going to remove that from mine. But we may actually add one in over here, perhaps. if it'll sit on there. It might not. There we go. There, you can make a design like that. Nice little flags there. Looks decent. Alright, it's actually getting dark out again. Alright, let's continue to make some more market stalls here, shall we? Alright, so we need our hammer out. We need to mark out. I want to leave a little walkway here, but we could definitely make a bigger one. Maybe go like... We go like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we come down here to our walls, go back up to our weathered stone. And turn off the snapping because it's being a pain. I'll just make a little bit bigger of a stall here. And I think that it'll look better sealed off like this. But if you have different roads and stuff, open up those walls in. That'll give you some more. Eventually we'll have multiple roads going out of this place to different buildings and parts of town and stuff. So right now it just looks kind of out here in the open. But eventually this is all going to be probably surrounded by buildings, other shops, full-on buildings. You know, whatever things, bakeries, houses, whatever, like full on will be surrounded by other buildings here, and then roads that'll go off like streets, alleys, that kind of thing. So just cutting out some stuff there, and we're just gonna make a nice big stall here. So we're going to need to switch to our roofing here. Oh, one thing I should mention too. If you want, you can actually flip this here and turn on your fine tune and rotate this down, and you can actually place this in the floor like this to give your place more of a kind of wood texture look here. But yeah, you'd probably have to do that before you actually really want to place it down. So like you could go something like this, and then that would give you the effect of having wood there, just like that. I don't know why there's some bones laying back here, but there are. You might have to look at that actually. I did not know there was bones there. We might use something other than the weathered stone. But anyways, let's continue on building here. In fact, I may even use myself. We could use something like, do I have other blocks in here perhaps? Yeah, we might even use something like regular stone or refined stone. Castle wall blocks might look okay too. Just see what some of these look like for a backdrop option for you guys. I know the video is getting a little long here. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but let's just see what this looks like. So there's your castle wall block, your regular stone block, and then your refined stone block here. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and I will make these make these regular stone here. Move that right there. Remove that, put it right there. And we'll remove that one. And I'll come back over here. I'll go back in here to this. And if you want a roof here, you basically just use the 1 meter roofing block and roof down on it. It does work a little janky, but it can work, so. And then we just want to go ahead and turn on our fine tune here and rotate this down. I did want to experiment. Okay, so you might not actually need the second roof or the second wall to do it here. Does seem like it sticks out a little bit further though, if you do it this way. That's a little off there. I'm gonna be paranoid about it. That's much, much better. Okay, and then we want our nice flags here. Oops. So you could use these flags here, and I do believe that your square options are going to be too tall as well here. Let's see here. So we got the round ones. Oop. Where are we here? Something like this. This crude wooden gate. I do believe, yeah, they are quite tall here. So you could use this to bridge in between as well here if you wanted. I would probably recommend using these to more so go off of like building corners or something like that. So yeah, so we'll be using the nice flags here. Like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and rotate this one around. And I will lay down the floor on this one just so you guys can see a little bit more here. And I'm going to keep mine a little straighter here. Just like that. Now we have some nice wood panels laying down there. Alternatively, you can actually use the, what is it here? The fancy stone block. Let me show you this here quick. I just want to give you guys some options. So like if you wanted to use a different kind of wood texture, the fancy stone block, the top of it, this of the blocks looks like this. So if you wanted to, you could come through and use this, which we might actually do here just for a nice little central kind of area here, just to break up some of the texture again. Turn on my snapping there, make it quicker. We might have to use the 2 meters there on the side, so switch to your 2 meter blocks here, go over to the ceiling, remove that, place that in. I wonder if that would, and you could come along if you don't want it to go on the outside. I'm just wondering, it might look okay to go like that, break up some of that stone possibly, or we could just leave it as our weathered stone block here. That looks okay too. So I'll just come along now with my fancy stone block. I'll remove some of these here. And I'll place this in here. Oop. Come on, snap. There we go. And if you really want it to be even, you can use your 1 meters here and get rid of these little chunks. Like I said, I'm usually okay with, we might get rid of a little bit here. And go down here to our weathered stone then. I'm usually okay with a little bit of deviation, but just giving you guys some options here is all. That's what the plan is. Put these down like that. Maybe we will actually change this. See how it works out here. Ooh, wrong block. My bad. Okay, yeah, I think we will change that so it's all uniform. I usually like a little more organic looking because, you know, a lot of things in life aren't straight edges like they are in like a lot of the modern houses and whatnot, but I'm not really a fan of the harsh edge look I like woods, I like warmth in the builds that I do. Oh, wrong block. My bad. Too busy talking about wood. Alright, so there. That broke up the floor. Looks much nicer. Nice little central area here. And you can do that out here too if you want, but I don't. I want to layer this outside in a different block, like basically like our regular stone here. I want to probably layer that around the outside here. I think that's going to look a little better for a lot of our builds than what the weathered stone looks like. And I don't like the bone piles, so we'll probably be replacing these two walls as well here eventually. But we'll leave them for right now for the sake of time. So. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how you build market stalls. That's how you're going to build the central area here. Going around. So if you wanted to know just how to build market stalls, if you wanted to know how to build a central area here, that's how we do it. I will have some other ideas though, of course, going throughout the video here. So if you want to watch the whole video, absolutely. If you want to just came for that, you just wanted to see that, you know, thanks for watching. But yeah, we're going to keep going here a little bit. So now basically, as I said, we'll have buildings and stuff which will make lean-tos come off of eventually. So that'll help us as well to break up some of the kind of monotony of it all. But then of course we want some clutter too kind of around. So I'll go with the 2 meters back down to the walls here. Regular stone. And we'll probably just put like, ooh, that's kind of tall. So let's go a little shorter here. And I want to kind of line it up with that one over there. That's one back too far. Oh my word. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we might add one in there. But anyway, we're just gonna make some nice little walls here. I used the wrong block for this, didn't I? Okay, then I'll go back down to the regular stone blocks here. I just want to line this up here a little bit. This will be this guy's market here. Because then basically we'll come in here, we'll flip this around. He's maybe got a little bit fancier of a market stall here, so we'll leave him with the conifer wood blocks here. Is this going to be lined up here? It would be back here, wouldn't it? So we'll go like that. Like that. And he'll have a nice little wood backdrop there. This guy's place is just a little fancier than the rest of them are. So we can go ahead and get out of that. Switch back over to this here. And we're just going to hide that in the wall here. Like so. Another market stall idea for you right there. There we are. Alright, perfect. And then we need a little table for him as well here. So, oops, wrong one. We'll go up here. Like this. And he can actually come in from the other side here. Just like that. Now he can be back here. And you can actually use armor stands to pose people around. I might do that. I might not, just to make it look like it's filled with people. Basically what you do is you take an armor stand. Let me show you guys here quick. I know this video is getting long, but actually I don't really have any armor. Okay. Basically what you do is take an armor stand, place it back here, put armor on it, and it'll look like somebody is standing back here. So, anyways. And then of course for this guy, he's gonna need some shelves probably. Or he could even have some, let's see what these carved cabinets look like. If you enable the fine tune you're able to place it in a little bit more precarious locations. So basically, if I want this to be more like shelves here, I can do that. Or I could place it on the floor here, which on the floor looks fine too. I mean, whatever. See what this looks like. Yeah, it could be okay. A little taller of a shelf there. And then if you wanted to put fences up here, you could definitely do that. I don't think I have any fences down here, but like some normal fences you could place along there. That could look decent too. And of course, we do need a roof for this guy yet here. And another roof that you can actually use, which is over in my chest here, is the, I do believe it's a tapestry here. Wall tapestry showcase. I think this one is big enough too, the flame mosaic. Yeah. So since his is a little fancier here, you can either use the flame mosaic or the tapestry one here. So basically if we turn on our fine-tune rotation again here and flip this around, and this is where we might need the second wall actually. We might be able to get it to go off of that. Let's curve it up just a little bit more here. Just like that. Bring it in a little bit more. Okay. Sorry guys, focus here. I want it to go a little higher here, but it's just being a pain. Snapping did not help. I think it's just mad because that one was a little lower there. Okay, it should be at the same angle. Just doesn't want to line up quite right here. There we are. As high as I possibly can here. And that's a little off, but man, is it pretty close. Alright, pretty close there. And then we can go ahead and use our hammer here. Since he's a little fancier, we can grab our, probably our 1 meters for now. Make sure conifer wood is selected. We can bring down our little fence post right here. Something like that, make it tie through so it looks like it's actually more of like the Japanese wood locking method. Oh, come on. Then actually using nails or something like that. you haven't actually seen that in real life, look at how the Japanese build with wood is very cool. Everything kind of fits together exactly how it's supposed to. But there, now you have a fancier market stall here. Of course, we can still add in things like flag poles here if we want. Okay, cooperate with me. A lot of this is just really getting the fine-tuned movements down to what you want them to be. Something like that. Nice little flags there. And yeah, we're pretty much just kind of decorating it to make it look exactly the way that we want it to look here. So, you know, you can really kind of go crazy with it. You know, like say we wanted a wood floor here. Something like that. And then if we grabbed another one there, we could fill that in over there. But basically then he would have a, okay, not see, I'm stuck. He would have a wood floor in there. If we go back into first person mode here, you can see he'd have a wood floor, and he would be, I have to move that out a little bit because our cabinet kind of blocks us there if we're not turned at a right angle. But we could fix that easily too. But yeah, you can see how you can just kind of decorate it up. Use your imagination. Change things a little bit in them. And this one over here we have to do too yet. And yeah, we're just pretty much making a nice little kind of market area here for people to utilize. And that is kind of how to build various market style ideas there, and kind of decorate them up nicely. If you wanted to build something, I mean, you can really use any object here. So like, even if you wanted to use, say, where are we at here? Where's my thing at? Let me bring this up here. We're rotated oddly. But you could use even something like this as market style ideas here for like a wall. You could rotate this around. This could 100% be a wall here. It could be a very nice backdrop here for, say you wanted it this way. And then we brought it up here like that. Again, this could be a beautiful backdrop here for a market stall. Let's put one over here like that. But again, I don't want to overclutter mine a little bit here because I do want to have buildings surrounding this, but you can see here how this would be a nice backdrop as well here. You could flip this so those symbols would be correct as well there, or those kind of edging would be correct there as well. But yeah, you just kind of build market stalls like that. If you want roofs on them, you can put roofs on them. If you don't, you don't have to. But again, I will leave the video linked down below of where I originally got the inspiration for this kind of builds, and where I originally learned how to make this style of market stall here. And then I just wanted to build upon it a little bit here and show you kind of my own takes on how I would build a market here, and with this style of build in the middle here. And then eventually we'll have buildings going all the way around this, and when we're all done, we'll probably do a full walkthrough of everything here too in a separate video. But if you guys want me to do a video on decorating this, so fully decorating it out, like clutter and all that stuff, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will do that as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one here. So that's how you make the market stalls. This is how you make the central market stall area here, whatever, the big canopy shelter. And then just some different ideas for you here. And just kind of go wild. Use different blocks, create different things, merge stuff together here. And don't forget that if you're having trouble placing things like here, it wouldn't let you place it normally. Go into your fine-tune rotation, turn that on, and it will let you place stuff wherever you want it, essentially. So that's one way to get around that as well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to stop blabbing here. That's how you build market stalls and a market square, at least the way that I wanted it here in this village, and you guys can go wild in your own villages too. Do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel here if you do like this kind of content. That way I know you guys want to keep seeing more of it. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.